there we go, and 3 prize turn, and get the game. So deck came through like a champ. Host Uncommon Fossil, taking a look at a deck that I've been excited about exploring since the new set was announced, Twilight Masquerade, and this is an updated Regidrago V-STAR because, you know, we're probably aware Dragapult EX is part of the deck, and Dragon, good attack, so anything like that makes Regidrago V-STAR better, at least can. So Regidrago V-STAR, if you're not familiar with it, a Dragon-type Pokemon, so no weakness. It is, obviously gives us 2 prizes of V-STAR, and it's got the attack Apex Dragon for grass, fire, and you choose an attack from a dragon Pokemon, you discard pile, and use this attack. So what it allows us to do, and while it's not officially a stage 1, it's essentially a stage 1, right? A V-STAR. You can copy the attacks of any dragon type, including stage 2s. So it's simpler to evolve to, right? And we don't have the low HP basic Pokemon. In this case, we have a higher HP V Pokemon, so that does have advantages in some matchups. So it gives us flexibility to the next box-style deck. I like it a lot. The hard part is how to power it up because of the multiple energies. I'm still going with the older build of Arceus V-STAR, which I think probably is the better way to do it still. I will be looking at Ogerpon EX, the Teal Mask one, as a way to power it up as well. There's some other things as well I might consider down the road too. You can let me know your suggestions for how to pull off the powering up and an engine for this in the comments below as well. But very nice attacker there, a 2/2 line of that. The V, you can attack with it, but we don't do that very often. It does hit the bench though, the second attack, and sometimes we'll actually copy that with the V-STAR too. That's an option as well. So as I said, pairing it with Arceus V-STAR 280 HP, you know what it does, turning it over 3 energies, does 200 or 180 if you have a double turbo, which often is the case. Sometimes I even have to toss on a second double turbo for a couple of different reasons, as long as now you go down to 160 damage, but a lot of times that doesn't matter, so that can have advantages as well. And then you accelerate 3 energies to your V Pokemon anywhere you like, so it lets us set up our Regidrago V-STAR for the following turn, so really good there. And of course, the Starbirth ability is super awesome as well. Search your deck for any 2 cards, so a lot of times early game, Arceus V-STAR's ability is the better one. You know, you might need to set up. If we can hold off, though, then oftentimes Regidrago V-STAR's power is better late game because you're recovering 2 cards, which can be super awesome. As we get more cards in the discard pile, that recovery gets better. Let's go over the attacking options in the deck. We play 1 Giratina V-STAR, very good, Lost Impact. We can't do Star Requiem because we can't get cards in the Lost Zone. Well, we can, but we're not going to get there. I'll say that. We're not going to get to 10. With Lost Impact, though, does 280, so this does the biggest damage. You put 2 energies attached to your Pokemon in the Lost Zone. 1 double turbo does cover that, and it doesn't have to be attached to the Pokemon that's attacking, the Regidrago V-STAR, or we can attack with Giratina V-STAR directly itself, because I do play a copy of the V. I'll talk about why I want that when I get there. But you get rid of a double turbo attached to another Pokemon. That's often one of the reasons to attach a second double turbo to the Arceus V-STAR, so we can get rid of it a couple turns and do the 280 damage is quite nice there. Other attackers, we have Hisuian Goodra V-STAR, still very good, rolling iron, 200 damage, which is kind of the number we're hitting around there a lot with this deck, but now the effect is you take 80 less damage the following turn. That can be very good. Dragapult EX, this is the new card that really is interesting in the deck. It does 200, as we see this like Goodra does, but then you place 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. Quite nice there. And then I am playing the single prize Dragonite. This isn't always played, but does 180, so just shy of 200, but again, hitting right around the same range. But you search your deck for 3 basic energy cards, attach your Pokemon any way you like. That allows us to attack with an Arceus and then 2 Regidrago V-STARs, and in the process, powering our second Regidrago V-STAR, because otherwise you kind of have to go Arceus, Regidrago. But if your Arceus is one shot, then you can have a problem powering up another Regidrago V-STAR. So I do like the Dragonite as an option in the deck. And then play Noivern EX, which is super nice in the deck. The second attack, Dominating Echo, is the less common one to use in the current meta. It does 140 during your opponent's next turn. They can't play any special energy. Back when Mew VMAX was around, that was potentially very damaging. And also they can't play a stadium card from hand. Again, your opponent couldn't bump past the Pete for one thing, but those, that's not around. So I don't think Dominaria is the main attack, but Covert Flight does 70, and then it prevents damage from basic Pokemon the following turn. There are a lot of ancient and future boxes out there and such, so Covert Flight can definitely win games. And then playing one copy of the Giratina V, like I said, we prefer not to start it, but it's here for two things. We sometimes can attack with it directly. First, if you go second, you end up with this in the starter. Abyss Seeking, look at the top 4 cards in your deck, put 2 of them in your hand, 2 in the Lost Zone, is good. It's a draw. It helps you set up. So keep that in mind. Abyss Seeking, obviously you can evolve and attack with the V-Star later on, but it's largely here for the Shred Attack. I've considered cutting it because I haven't needed it a lot, but without the Shred Attack, something like Mimikyu just beats this deck because we can't do any damage to it. So Shred Attack does 160, and it isn't affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's good, right? The hitting through effects is good. So I like it. Plus, or if they're playing the whatever the Ogerpon EX, the one that is immune to Pokemon with abilities. Both our V-Stars have abilities, so we hit through that as well. So, I think it's important to have the ability to hit through effects. So Giratina V's in the deck for that, although I prefer not to start it, right? But that's a risk we run. There's not really an evolution that hits through effects that's effective. All right, so we got getting to the energies now. 4 double turbo. It's an Arceus deck. 6 grass, 4 fire, right? That's kind of a good mix of things. Sometimes you could cut a fire down to 3. I always feel more comfortable having the 4th one, but you can cut an energy. And I also put in a Legacy Energy. This is the A spec I'm running. I'm not certain this is the best way to go, but I'm still trying it out. I think it adds it brings a plus to the deck, right? What it does, if you're not familiar with it, it's one of from the new set here. It provides every type of energy, but only one. So it provides grass. If you need grass or if you need a fire, whatever the energy type you need, it provides it. That's good for the deck. But then the other thing is that the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack of your opponent's Pokemon. That player takes 1 fewer prizes. 1 prize card. So because we're a 2 prize deck, right? All our basics are 2 prize, and our evolutions are 2 prize. They're taking 2 prize or 2 prize or 2 prizes. Our opponent wins the game. And now if they take an Echo Legacy Energy, it's a 2 prizer, a 2 prizer, a 1 prizer, then a 2 prizer. Whoever that Legacy Energy is attached doesn't really matter. They now just knock out 4 Pokemon, and that can swing us the game. Also, because I have the Legacy Energy, I think I'm going to make more use of that Dragonite that helps power up another Regidrago, right? Because I'm going to need to power up in the middle. I can't probably rely on Arceus as much. So that's the logic behind Legacy Energy. We can recover it, the Legacy Energy, remember, with the Regidrago's V-Star power, but then the last line of text on Legacy Energy, this effect of your Legacy Energy can't be applied more than once per game, and that's the thing about your opponent taking 1 less prize. So unfortunately, we can't repeat that. We can reuse the energy if we need to, but of course, it doesn't give us any more benefit than just having a basic grass or fire in that case. All right, so getting into the trainers here, Pokemon Search, I'll go with that. 2 Nest Balls, 4 Ultra Balls, 4 Capturing Aroma. Why have I done that? You need to get your evolutions in the discard pile, right? I've had played 4 Great Ball at times. I think 4 Capturing Aroma is better. Sometimes they don't play Capturing Aroma, they just play 4 Nest Ball. But again, Ultra Ball can discard, which is awesome, but we still need to use Ultra Ball often to get our Arceus V-Star or a Regidrago V-Star. And we really want to have that evolution that we want in the discard pile, right? So Capturing Aroma, I think we got it, particularly like with the Dragapult EX is very good early game a lot of times. So I need to, whatever that attacker is that you need, Capturing Aroma increases the odds we get it and can get it into the discard pile with Ultra Ball. So that's the Pokemon Search there. Other ways of discarding, we do play 1 Earthen Vessel, discard a card, search for up to 2 basic energies is good in the deck, of course, and does help us discard an attacker, right? That's really good. 1 Super Rod, you get back some energy and or Pokemon from the discard pile into the deck. It's just a 2/2 line of the Regidrago V-Star. Some decks I see play a 3/3 line. At times I wish that if one of those is prized, it's difficult, right? It's tough to navigate, and then the rod becomes super important. One Professor Turo scenario, which can be useful as well, right? Put a Pokemon into your hand, get rid of a damaged Pokemon, or like the Giratina V, if that was the starter and we don't really want it in play, we can get that out of the way. All right, we play 3 Trekking Shoes, just digs to the deck. You can discard a little bit with it, so just kind of helps. Since one of the things I don't like with the deck is it doesn't have an engine outside of your 1 V-Star power, and then we can get ourselves in top deck mode. Trekking Shoes helps with that. I have been considering putting in the new Tatsugiri in the deck with the with the rescue board, right? Tatsugiri. Let me just go to that. Yeah, I do have a copy of it. During the turn, if this Pokemon's the active spot, look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a supporter card into your hand. I've considered that. If I were to put that in, I would drop the Legacy Energy, right? Because now I have a single prizer that my opponents can take, so the Legacy Energy provides less value in the deck. Anyway, getting back to this list here, 1 copy of Mela. If your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, it'll happen. You can accelerate a basic fire from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. That's good. And you draw the F6 cards. So just another way to help set up, get the energy going, and take a little draw there. 4 Professor's Research. We got to get those cards discarded early. Sometimes it's scary, you're discarding cards you don't want to, but hey, we got to set up, we got to get going. You know, a deck like this, I guess you could play like Squawkabilly EX as well, although that's a little rough. We could even play that new supporter, right, that discards 5 on your first turn, going first. I mean, you discard your hand, draw 5. That could have value, but you have to draw into it. Probably doesn't happen, I guess. 3 Boss's Orders. Decks will often play 2, but having that 3rd boss, I just like a lot. Boss wins a lot of games. And also, with the Dragapult's attack, copying that with the hitting and the spreading damage, it makes boss even better, I think, in a lot of cases. 1 Explorer's Guidance. This is a very good supporter in the deck. Look at the top 6 cards in your deck, 2 in hand, discard the rest, draw a couple cards. Well, you get to choose two of those 6 cards, then you discard the rest, so it helps get cards, then discard as well. 2 Iono, 1 Switch, and that is all the trainers in the deck. So that's the list. Like I said, there's a few things which I'm still thinking about. The A-Spec, you know, like Prime Catcher could be good. Or, you know, you have different options for the A-Spec if you want to go away from Legacy. Maybe the Tatsugiri to get some draw. But that's the list. Very happy with the deck. You know, it was a solid deck coming in and has just gotten a little bit better with the new set. So let's take a look at the deck in action. All right, see what happens. This has been a rough go. And hopefully this game starts. The coin's flipping, so that's good. I've been obviously the game isn't always working, and I've been running at some awkward matchups, and learning also. There's obviously a lot of new decks, so I'm learning how to play against the new decks, which is tough. So taking a mulligan, both take a mulligan, that's good for me. This deck takes a fair amount of mulligans. Arceus, okay, that's good. What am I up against here? Dragapult, okay, regular Dragapult. So I kind of like this matchup, I gotta say. So I can get an energy on Arceus. I can get a Regidrago V onto the bench. That's good. I can Ultra Ball for something. My V-Star potentially, you know, if my hand's not disrupted, I can make things happen next turn. So that part's pretty good. So comfy, okay. I kind of like, okay, Legacy Energy is good. Legacy Energy is very good. All right, so not Giratina, do Regidrago. And I've got, okay, I have the other V-Star in hand. Wait, what? Two of my Arceus V-Stars are prized. Okay, well, that's pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure that's correct. All right, but anyway, attaching this energy here. If they play Enhanced Hammer, I'm going to kind of cry, but that is I run that risk, right? I run the risk of Enhanced Hammer with this play. You know, if I attach the Grass Energy, I'd be okay because they couldn't have enhanced Hammer. But the Legacy Energy, at this point, I think the Legacy Energy is the wrong A-Spec to play. Is my current thought on it. But we'll see. You know, it hasn't been working out in a lot of the matches. Don't always get it in play, right? It's the one that it's the least likely energy to be played, right? The double turbo, you always are attaching a double turbo to Arceus, basically, because you need to attack turn 2 with him. So you have to attach double turbo, basically. and then you're always accelerating those basic energies, right? So you have to attach the Legacy by hand. It doesn't always, you don't always get that opportunity, but look, it is very good forcing opponents to take an extra knockout, an extra prize, or in this case, an extra 2 prizes, right? Because they would have, without the Legacy, they have to knock out a 2 prizer, either hopefully a V-Star, ideally either an Arceus or Regidrago. They have to knock out 280 HP Pokemon, so which they have to do work to do, right? Every deck does, and the Dragapult doesn't one-shot the 280 Pokemon. It doesn't, you know, 2-shots them. It does 200 plus 60 extra, but even with the extra 60, if you're trying to stack it all into one Pokemon, it's not enough. So one of the concerns with Dragapult to me is how do you get it powered up? So they've gone the route of Lost Zone, which makes a lot of sense, right? This is a way to power it up. And there's 2 types of energies, which is exactly what Mirage Gate wants to do. So Mirage Gate, once they're to 7, they can power up. And they've got 4 cards in the Lost Zone this turn, so they're going to be a poke even. So that means they can look in to knock out my Arceus V-Star next turn, right? I don't like that, I got to say, but good for, I mean, that's what they want to do. So so they're going to give me a poke. They get me so once I evolve, I'm below that 200 HP threshold, and very, you know, so hopefully they still need a rare candy, the stage 2, but now, and they got an energy attached, so they don't even need Mirage Gate next turn. So that's all pretty bad, I gotta say. I could boss. Do I want to boss this turn? Let's think. If I boss, though, I get the... I think I need to save that. All right, Giratina V. So what do I want in hand? I'll grab the Trekking Shoes. And what do I want here? I think I want a supporter for next turn, right? I'll grab the Research, I guess. Okay, so, I mean, that wasn't great. All right, Trekking Shoes, see what I get here. I could... Oh, I do need him, right? I mean, I could kind of wait on him as well. I don't think I need this energy. I hope I don't, right? I hope I don't. So I got to use my V-Star power this turn. It's not terrible, though. So I'll grab a double turbo, and I'll grab a V, right? Or actually, I'll grab the double turbo, and I will grab... Okay, got energies. That's good. I have my Regidrago V. But is there Nest Ball in deck? I think I'd rather do Nest Ball. So I have Ultra Ball. No, I will just grab the V directly. Okay. Regidrago. Okay. So that's good. Regidrago V goes down. Double turbo. Take a knockout, which does mean they can use their gusting, right? They can use counter catcher, which is suboptimal, but that's okay. Now, one of the issues I have is I don't have a great assortment of V-Stars of Dragon Pokemon at the moment, so that part's not ideal. I can power up my other Regidrago V-Star next turn, right? Because I do have the Dragonite, and I have Noivern, who's actually Noivern's not good. Goodra would be much better. I have Giratina, so it's not great. I mean, I'm doing what, 180 right now. I'm not mauling basics. I mean, it does stop Cramorant in that regard, but that's not really the threat here. I don't need to wall off special energies, and I don't need to wall off basics, so that's not great. Potentially, this is a deck that could play Mimikyu because they do have the psychic energy. I mean, any deck can play Mimikyu. They can attack with Mimikyu as well. And they can power it up in one turn once they get going with Mirage Gates. So, I kind of like that in the deck. I don't know if they have deck space for it, but Mimikyu is annoying. Okay, so getting another Dreepy down. And obviously Dreepy being 70 HP is a very big deal for these games. But they need to evolve. They need to rare candy and such. If they can't do that, I'm really happy about my position. Assuming they take me out in attack with Dragapult, I'm a lot less happy. I mean, with Yeah, with Dragapult, I'm a lot less happy. So they have the Mirage Gate. That's, I assume they'll accelerate the ability Dreepies. Do they have? They need a switching card. Oh wow. Okay, they didn't get energy on the other Dreepy. That surprises me because there's no energy in the discard pile. They play fire energy. Oh yeah, that's what they need too. So Iono. Okay. I mean, I liked having the Regidrago in hand. It was a good hand, but it's not. This is actually potentially a better hand. Having Boss is nice as well. See what they do here. So they just got smack with Cramorant. That's pretty terrible if that's what they're doing here. Terrible for them. Great for me. In which case, I think I gust up the Dragapult, right? I mean, I have Boss. I think I gust up, and I probably just hard retreat here. And I'm pretty happy about the whole situation then, right? All right, well, I get a basic, which isn't what I wanted, but okay, what do I have here? Okay, so I mean, I could try setting another Arceus as well because I do have this extra energy, but I think I'll just do this. I'll get rid of him and him. That's fine. What else is in here? I think I do have the Turo as well. Energy's good. I do have Rod. Okay. So I think I just want to retreat. I think I hard retreat here, correct? And I boss this guy up. Just get rid of the double turbo there. Send you up. Gonna just start going here. I will attach and fire to the Regidrago. Why don't I do that? And I attack. I will do the Phantom Dive here, I think. Do I want to start? I guess I just want to kind of start doing. I'll put one there. Okay, just so if they don't get that guy evolved, I take out the Dreepy next turn on the bench, right? That's the thought. The Dreepy comes off the bench. If I spread 60 damage counters, I can't hide there and be safe. Ultra Ball, okay, I can get the Goodra in the discard pile. That's good as well. Because he does too, because he takes 80 less damage. So this has been a nice start. I like, there's some bad matchups. I do like the Arceus Regidrago build into the regular Dragapult deck. Just because the regular Dragapult is fragile. It's harder to set up. This is a much easier deck to set up. And they're, like I said, they're fragile. Okay, so they're getting the Dragapult evolved. They're, I assume, going to attack. Yeah, they have Mirage Gate, so I assume they got what they need this turn. And just, wow, just one again. I guess, do they have the other energy in hand? I mean, that's kind of scary. Let's see what they send up here. So they're going to poke me again. That's just crazy. Just crazy. I mean, they're really scuffling here, is all I can say, right? Super scuffling. So 170. I could attach the double turbo. I could have. Do I want to attack with Goodra? I'm going to attach the double turbo here. Well, that's actually, he's going to get knocked out, isn't he? So I don't want to do that. So I'll do that. And grab Giratina VSTAR because he's good to get in the discard pile. I will attack. I think I want to keep myself from getting knocked out. That's what I want to do. So I do 200 and I take 80 less, so I don't get one shot next turn now, right? By the, or well, it's not one shot. I don't get finished off next turn, right, by him. So I did leave that Comfy. The Comfy's still alive, but you know, he's waiting to be picked off. So this Arceus still has, the problem is they're gonna, this is part of why the Legacy Energy is not good. They're gonna sprinkle the damage counters onto the Arceus V-Star, take him out, and the Legacy Energy is not going to come into effect because Legacy Energy only if it's knocked out by damage from attack. So they're going to knock it out as from the effect of an ability, so that, you know, the Legacy Energy let me down once again, unfortunately. I'm just finding that about it. So they ditched a Drakelock. I mean, potentially, I think the Drakelock is one of the things that makes Dragapult good, too. They're choosing not to play the Drakelock. Maybe they want a rare candy directly to the EX, but, you know, the extra draw is good. I don't have energy, though, so that's a problem. But I do have, yeah, I have the Dragonite, so I'll use Dragonite next turn to power up my guy on the bench, I think. I assume if they don't attack into me, then that changes my game plan, but assuming they hit into me for 200 damage, you know, I mean, they don't knock me out. Assuming they're going to knock out the Arceus V-Star, they can't then take all 4 prizes next turn, I don't think. That's what I kind of got to be aware of, right? Giratina V-Star's attack is nice as well. So they're going to retreat, attack into me, I assume. And they don't knock me out. I don't knock them out either. Although I will, and I can't knock out the guy on the bench either this turn. So, but, because I need to power up the Regidrago V-Star on the bench. The research is a little bit of a risk, right? In that, if I draw a whole bunch of energies in hand, I can't do what I need to. Meaning power this guy up. I should be fine. I assume they're going to take out the V-Star. Looks like it. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to put any on the Regidrago. You know, you don't want to split them up. So they can't. They can't win next turn, but they can the turn after. So it gets a little scary. They need a gusting card, though. That's one of the things they need to do. They need to gust into the Regidrago V-Star. So I think I want to... I've got to power up the guy on the bench. I'm pretty certain here, right? So... I mean, I could... I guess it's too late for that, isn't it? Actually, I don't. Do I even want to attach this fire energy? Let me see what's in my deck. I think it's all... I think the energy's there. Yeah, so I will attach a fire, because if I use Giratina's attack, then I need that, right? I assume they're going to knock me out, right? That's what I assume here. So I need to do Energy Hurricane, right? Grass. I'll just do grass, I guess, at this point, right? That's pretty good. I have boss, so I have game in hand right now, because I now have a 3 potential. If my hand stays, I have a 3 prize turn, and they can't take all 4 prizes this turn. I'm pretty certain, right? Because they can knock him out. They could gust and take out the person that's currently active with their damage counters, but they can't. They only do 200 there, so that looks my hand stays, which means I'm going to win the game. I mean, I guess there's ways they can get this Comfy out of play. They could play down another Pokemon and collapse Stadium, get him out of play. I assume they don't have that in the deck. They're not built to do that, most likely. So I think I just have game on board here. I mean, they could, like, Professor Turo got him out of play but didn't actually attack, it doesn't really help their board. It doesn't really help them though. So they've got to, they've got to get a turn closer to winning. So yeah, looking like a win here for me, which I'm pleased about. And taking, opponents taking their time. They don't know I have boss. They know boss gives me game though. So Jet Energy, okay. I mean, I guess I'm not sure what they're gonna do. Are they trying to get the guy on the bench involved? Obviously, they can attack with the guy on the bench. Then, well, I don't need, if they attack with the current Regidrago V Max, the Dragapult EX, then I just have game without boss, right? So they know they can't leave that Dragapult in the active, I guess is where they're at. They're gonna devolve. That's okay though. That just gives me games. I have boss, right? So if I didn't I didn't have boss. I don't know that that's overly effective. I mean, they take 2 prizes. I have boss in hand, so I don't care. But otherwise, it was a good play, I think. Yeah, no, it was a good play. Taking 2 prizes is good. I need boss for game. I do have boss, so it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, they made the right play. So I need to do the right clicking here. I need to 200 damage, phantom dive, place damage counters, right? 70. So I will just kind of do this. I guess the smart thing would have been to put it on comfy, right? So there we go, and 3 prize turn, and get the game. So deck came through like a champ there. The game was close. The game actually ended up being a lot closer than I thought. They have an engine, right? Their deck is slower to get going, but the Lost Zone engine is a good engine, which kind of let them kind of catch up, right? The lack of an engine with Regidrago V-STAR is a real liability. All right, see what happens here. See if this game actually happens. All right, I got a coin. That is good. The matchmaking's gotten weird. Like this person's rankings, their rankings 300 points. So I shouldn't be generally seeing someone with 300 points. I didn't make Arceus League. I'm in the one below Arceus League. And with the glitches to live and the forced game losses, I'm not going to make it to Arceus League when it resets. I'm pretty certain. I could, if it starts to get fully sorted out, I could grind it and get there. It's not worth it to me, though, I will say. All right, taking a mulligan. This deck takes a fair amount of mulligans. I've probably said that already. I don't remember if I'm first or second. All right, sorry, I got the coughing. Going second. If I can get someone on the bench, I'm in good shape. Excuse me, a little coughing fit there. Bit surprised with the Wrong Moon going first, right? It was their choice, right? They won the coin toss, or I lost it, however that was. Did I really choose Tails? I never choose Tails. Maybe I did. I'll have to take a look. Is that actually what happened? Well, I'll look at the video. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I could have clicked Tails or something. I don't fully I knew that I was the flipper. I guess the question is was there some... I'll have to take a look at the video, though. Was there... Because I was surprised I was paired with someone so low in the ranking. I know with people that are high in the ranking, I just... If there's some people that have 3,000 or 4,000 points in the rank, which is... Look, you can get to 3. It's a lot of... You've won a lot of games once you get to Arceus. Once you get to Arceus League, I believe it's 10 points. It's the same points for a win as a loss. I think it's 10. So you've got to be winning a lot of games at a pretty good rate to get there. You have to play a lot and win a lot. And it's possible. Obviously, any number is possible. But there are people I'm pretty sure exploiting the situation. All right, got more yard work going outside, so hopefully things aren't too loud for you. They're doing a bunch of work across the street from me. That's what's happening. So, kind of weird when they attach the capsule, the HP doesn't go up till later in their turn. I don't know why there's. Hopefully I hit. I'd like to get another basic in play. That's what I'd like to do this turn. All right, Regidrago V. Let's just see what I have here. Okay, so not terrible. I will gust up the somebody. Don't want to gust up the guy with 2. Don't want to gust up the Radiant Greninja. I'll gust up the Radiant Greninja. I'm not certain about that. This is actually a pretty good hand for next turn. So do that. I could have, I could have gust on grass, fire. This is a game where I might attach 2 double turbos to Arceus V. I get down to 160, but I still one-shot the ancient Pokemon without a tool because they're 140, and once they have the tool, they're at 200. So 1 versus 2 double turbos doesn't actually impact the numbers in this matchup, I don't think. So this is probably one where I toss on an extra double turbo, because obviously 1 double turbo pays the retreat cost. So, but I'm only 1 single energy attachment away from attacking later in the game if I need to, so it has value there. Also, what am I going to do here? At this point, I think I have to. Do I use Arceus VSTAR power, or do I use Regidrago's? At this point, I probably use. Right now I don't have access to Regidrago, so I could attack and not use my VSTAR power this turn as well. That's possible. I don't know if I like that option, right? Hopefully my opponent can't attack for a turn. That'd be really nice. Spreading the damage counters, I think, will be decently effective. We'll see. We'll see how that works. So they're going to hit into me. They're not going to take a knockout. I'm pretty certain. I'm not going to do the math. The game will do the math for me. But they need 13 cards in the discard pile. So 3. So they had 6 though. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, I do have Legacy Energy. Well, Legacy Energy is super awesome, actually, right? Super awesome. So I'm going to attach Legacy Energy. And I guess I'm going to. I'm going to want to grab a V-Star, right? I don't want to grab the V. Maybe I grab the V because I want to power him up. I'll grab a V, and I will grab. I guess I grab a Research. I just kind of need to be setting up here, right? Research and a V isn't bad. I could have. Maybe I should have grabbed Ultra Ball. Now that I think about it, just because I would have thinned the deck out a little bit, 1 card further, right? Although getting Ultra Ball after this is actually a real plus too. Like there, Ultra Ball. Thank you very much. So get rid of Dragonite. Get rid of. See, I could toss down another Arceus V as well. All right, so I'm going to grab. So I get a Regidrago VSTAR. That's good. Okay, I'm not in bad shape. Actually, I do kind of want Noivern, don't I, with this matchup? Noivern's really awesome, so I've got to get Noivern. But that's okay. I have time to get Noivern, is what I'll say. I have time for that. Hopefully I get Noivern, right? And grass, fire. I also can take some, but at this point I can still take some multi-prize turns. At this rate, I can knock out the active. If he's, they might want to leave him in the active as well. I gotta think. How do I want to spread that around my 60 damage? Do I want to just put it on to this Radiant Greninja? Maybe I do, because I'm gonna one-shot these Roaring Moons once I start attacking with Regidrago VSTAR. So we'll see what they do here. Noivern, I need to get Noivern in the discard pile, though. That's what needs to happen. Maybe I should have dropped down the Arceus V. Because he's not bad, right? He's not bad for me. I mean, he's another attacker, right? At this point, they're going to need to get 4 knockouts, I think, right? I think my Legacy Energy is going to work. A lot of games, the Legacy Energy doesn't pay off. This time, I think they're going to knock me out, I assume, this turn. They're only going to get 1 prize. So that's very good. So I send up the V-Star. I do want to just start attacking with Noivern at some point. And I have my other options to attack with, too, so it's okay. And obviously, as they go on, their damage level ramps up. So I want to... the key thing is I need to get Noivern in the discard pile before they can one-shot me, right? Okay, playing Secret Box, which... and this is a good deck for it, because they placed, obviously, tools. They want to discard a bunch. That wasn't probably the best discarding for them, though, was it? What happens with the log there? Oh, it doesn't tell me what they did yet. Okay, that's kind of weird. So the log is not showing what... so I can't tell what they discard. Well, I guess I can click on the discard pile. So they got 2 ancient cards in the discard pile, which they want to do. And I have Great Tusk. Great Tusk does one-shot my Arceus, right? It's 4 energies, right? Milling's probably not what they want to do to win the game. They play the Flutter Mane, which is good, which makes sense in the deck too. So what are they going to do here? In one sense, if they retreat, I like that a lot. I would prefer to see them retreat, because then I just pick you off with my Dragapult EX. I assume they're just going to take the knockout with the active. And they do. They're doing 180, so that's okay. So 1 less prize, that's a big deal. That's a very big deal for me. And a big deal for them as well. So I will... Arceus. I'll play the Rod. I'm going to attach the double turbo. I want the V-Star. I guess I'll drop in both V-Stars, and that's all I want, right? Because I do want to... yeah, that's good. I'll attach the double turbo, play the research, see what I get. Well, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, so no, Noivern is beautiful, beautiful beyond belief, right? That's a real gut punch for my opponent. So I'll say no to that, because I already have an Arceus V in my hand. I get double turbo. So I will just attack. Might as well just make myself immune to basics. Why don't I just do that here? Oh, I made a mistake there, didn't I? I should have evolved the Regidrago V on the bench, right? I could have done that. That was really terrible on my part. So take a prize. Catch up in the prize race. And yeah, this is coming together quite nicely here. So I just need to evolve my... I need to get my other V-Star powered up. And yeah, so I mean, I can start taking multiple prize. You know, now I just kind of doing what I want at this point. I make sure I don't deck out, right? My opponent, they probably can't go infinite. I don't think I want to research again at this point. I evolve. So at this point, what do I want to do? I want to evolve the Arceus V-Star. I want to evolve the Regidrago V-Star. And I want to play down the other double turbo, right? Because again, like I said, the 2 double turbos is fine. I could have just 3 basic energies. Then I would one-shot with the tool with the V-Star, right? But if I want to attack with the Giratina V-Star's attack at some point, having double turbos in play is useful. Or like I said, double turbos to pay the retreat cost is good. So I'm fine with that. The Arceus isn't really what I want to do, but at this point, the Arceus... it's another attacker, and it may win me the game. What's my boss situation, by the way? I have 2 bosses left, so I'm just in really great shape. So they play Roaring Moon EX, so that's scary. Okay, so now that changes things a lot, right? So that changes things a lot. So I want to now... I want to put damage counters on the Roaring Moon, because they with Frenzied Gouging, they do take me out. but I want to put damage counters on them so that they knock themselves out. I need to get, it gives them, what, 60 damage, is it, their tool? Their tool, which is a very nice tool, plus 60, right? So they put themselves, okay, well that's, you know, that's not the turn they wanted, I would say. I think it's safe to say. So I'll get rid of those two guys. I will get the Regidrago V-STAR into play. Get the Arceus into play. Just setting up my board. I want to get pressure onto this Roaring Moon. And that's okay too. The EX, that is, right? So I'm going to do... was he at the top? I don't... So Phantom Dive. So I'll put all the damage on this guy, right? So that... yeah, just to make it so they can, if they don't have the tool attached, they definitely knock themselves out. I've put too much damage on. But even without the tool, then I need 4 more damage counters and they're knocked out. I have Professor Turo scenario. I don't think I want to use that. I don't know. Do I have another Rod in deck? I think I do. It's a way to get rid of, obviously, damaged Pokemon, but it's okay. So they can hit into me. I don't think they knock me out. I probably just give them a smack. I think they're going to hit into me. If they knock me out, it gets a little scary. Like I said, I don't think they can. If they knock me out without the tool on, I probably just take the prize with the Arceus V-STAR. That's what I want to do. Right, so they're looking to power up the Roaring Moon EX. They need 3 energies. They're up against the wall with this. I think they're in a lot of trouble. It's kind of weird the way this information on the sideboard disappears, like the prizes and time. It really shouldn't. It's just making it fancy, but honestly, it's better if like the prizes and the timer stays in play all the time. It's not like they don't need the space to read something. Like when they played Pokestop, I'm pretty sure they didn't have to have that slide off the board, right? Again, it'd just be, I know it's fancy, whatever, but it's not helpful, right? So Flutter Mane, which shuts off my abilities on my active, which could be good. It's obviously potentially, you know, when they shut down like an Arceus V-STAR, it's bad news, right? If I haven't used his ability yet. So not sure what my opponent's doing at this point. I don't know if they're sure what they're doing. I think they just need to hit into me. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. I hope they can't knock me out, but it will be close. Like I said, if they do, I send up Arceus V-STAR. Take a prize. Hopefully they missed. They missed by 10. That is super, super, super awesome for me, right? So I will just attack now. I mean, I could... Yeah, I think I just attack. Let's see what I have. Do I want to see what's in the deck? I could stir a scenario as well, right? Is that all I have in deck? That's not enough. And I add a... okay, I'll just leave that energy there. No reason to do even that. Okay, so that makes my decision-making simple. They're going to knock me out next turn. So I need to get, what, 9 damage counters on him? Right, it's 60. And they do... they live themselves as 30, I think, right? Right, they do 200. So I need to put 3 more on you. 1, 2, 3. And I guess I will just put some... I'll just start banging away on you, because if you attack, I'm going to knock you out. So, okay. Take another prize. Look, the awkward thing is they're a single prize deck, so it makes the gameplay slower. I have to be careful here, right? I mean, I just have to be careful. So this is where, you know, they were 1 away from knocking me out, which is scary. Very, very scary. And at this point, now they can, you know, they could one-shot my guy on the bench too. they have that ability. Now they can one-shot anything that I have in my deck. Obviously, at this point, they're gonna rod. You know, they're thinking through. Well, if they don't rod, they lose the game, right? They have to get cards into their deck, and if they don't play Iono, this is the only way to do it. They don't want to lose cards that, you know, they're trying to think through the damage numbers though carefully, right? So they need to get. I mean, they're in a big spot, right? By sprinkling those damage counters on, I've beaten them up pretty badly. So, which is awesome for me, very awesome. So, I do have Goodra as well, right? I'm just trying to think through what I have. Oh, sorry, because I could attack with Goodra, right? Is he there? No, he's not there. So I can attack with Noivern. Noivern doesn't take the knockout though. I think I do want to take a knockout. So probably I just attack with Arceus. I gotta decide who I want to promote here. That's part of my decision-making process, right? If I attack with Arceus, just gets me the knockout, right? So they're at 200 HP, and they do 200 to themselves, though, right? With their attack, right? So I think I just take the knockout with Arceus. I am pretty sure that's the play. And then I should just have game next turn, right? I really should. Yeah. Do I have Goodra in the deck? I don't remember. So let me see. Let me dig a little bit. See if I get anything valid here. So one Arceus do I have? And I do have the Goodra, which was another way to go this turn, right? So they're going to take a prize next turn. Oh, God. Okay, nothing there. I do have Boss, which is good as well. So shortening the deck's not terrible. Do I really want to... Do I want to dig for Boss or something? I guess I'm just going to take the knockout. I think I just have game. Actually, no. I want to... I'm going to research. That's what I do. Okay, got both bosses' orders in hand. That's super nice. Let's just kind of thin things out a little bit. No. And let me get rid of... Let me get rid of these two guys. Get myself the Goodra. Just thin things out. I still don't get bosses' orders, unfortunately, if I get Iono or something. That's what I don't like here. But having both in hand, that part is unfortunate, right? Okay, I don't need the energy. Oh, I should have grabbed the energy. Dumb. I should have thinned my deck. That's that I wasn't thinking ahead. I was thinking I didn't need the energy, which I don't. Right, I really don't. But I want to get that extra card out of the deck because I want to make sure Boss, because Boss gets me game this next turn. Right, if I don't get Boss, if I don't. I mean, they're in a tough spot though, right? So Enhanced Hammer. Okay. Fortunately, they didn't have that earlier in the game, right? Because otherwise, they would have game at this point. So because Legacy Energy is really important in this game, right? Otherwise, they could win the game. Though well, if they could attack with the Roaring Moon this turn, and I don't know if they can. They probably can, though, right? I don't know if they're going to deck themselves out this turn as well, right? That could be the case too. They've got to, at this point, unless they can get cards back in their deck, they lose. They might be just going to attack, take the knockout. I'll go through the motions and knock them out as well for game, just because. Why not, right? If well, hopefully they don't concede, right? They've taken an unnecessary attack because they've lost the game, right? Unless I play Iono, which I'm not going to do. So I'm going to take the knockout. Hopefully they'll let me have my fun as well. So I don't like that. If you want to play, just mess around for the extra turn and the knockout, then let your opponent have the fun too, right? Otherwise, it's kind of, you have your fun and then you walk away for your opponent gets to have their fun. So anyway, got the win. Very pleased about that. So just overview for this deck. It's a good deck. Excuse me there. It's a pretty easy deck. I like it against the Dragapult EX decks. There are some awkward matchups for it, for sure, but I like having these options. Maybe the Dragonite doesn't go. I think maybe I would recommend dropping the Legacy Energy, and once I drop the Legacy Energy, I probably would drop the Dragonite. Partly I want the Dragonite because I'm attacking with 4 Vs over the course of the game, so I'm going to need to power up, do some powering up, I figure, with the Regidrago, which that allows me to do. And then amongst trainers, I haven't got a ton of value out of Mela, I would say. Maybe that's partly just how I'm playing the deck. And not having a draw engine's not good, so I might put in the, was it Tatsugiri? Right, if I remember it. Yeah, the Tatsugiri. I might put that in with the rescue board. That I might put in. Do I play enough supporters to get the value out of that? I think I probably do. So those are some of the thoughts, but a very solid deck. Give it a try for sure. Have some fun, play some Pokemon, and take care.